Welcome back, my gardening friends, to No Dig Day. And if your growing space is looking a bit like this or this, then you may want to consider doing a no dig gardening bed. Very simple, and for demonstration purposes only, because that wasn't my growing space. You can always lay some cardboard down, many thicknesses, or if you're lucky like me, you can get this really thick cardboard, which will hold the weeds back for a good while. And if you do get some come through, then you can just pull them out. And any perennial weeds that I get go into this bin here. And then we top it up with water, and we drown them. They go rotten, and they can be used then to top up your no-dig beds. So I'm at a point now where the cardboard was placed at the bottom of these. We increase the size of the beds as we add more materials. The idea of no dig is that we don't put a spade in the ground and turn the soil over, destroying all the work the worms have done to the structure of the soil, because they create the drainage. They come to the surface, collect any nutrients that we've placed on the top, drag them down, and they poo and wee all over the place, giving our plants an excellent nutrients to grow. And these beds are placed on concrete blocks or anything that we've got, and then we've added a sacrificial board with milk bottle tops as a spacer to stop whatever we use in the paths, mainly wood chips, but we are short, so I've had to use leaves. And then the wood chips in the paths can also be used to top the beds up. Here's a few more materials that I do collect and save, make, all for free. This is my leaf mould bin. This is for my new viewers, of course, but with 150 to 200 subscribers new each month, then I do like to go through it. This is the compost, my homemade compost that I make. It's rough and ready. It doesn't always grow the best, but at least I know it's for free and I know what's actually gone in it. This is some of the compost with the perlite in that the cannabis growers unscrupulously dump, fly tip. We've got a nice pile of that, and there's the cocoa coir. All these ingredients go into my homemade compost. Once it's 12 months old, it can be spread on top of the beds or make new beds as we go along. So these wood chips now are probably 4 years old. But I do gather these up. What I normally do, 3 years, top them off with new, or before we top them off with new, scrape it back, grab the 3-year-old wood chips, and then use them around my growing spaces. I mix this with leaf mould to make a seed compost. Here's my 2-year-old leaf mould. It's a little bit too damp at the moment to put through my homemade trommel that cost me about £12 to £15 to build all those years ago. And here's 2021's leaves. They'll be moved into that other bin once we've done a few more improvements. So we're working all the while to create our own materials. So coffee grounds we can add, log ashes, log shavings from when I cut up my logs for the wood burner, tea leaves dried and removed from the bags, soil from molehills. There we go, 3-year-old wood chips. Those go into the wormeries, the underground wormeries, so I always keep a container. Soot, I haven't used a lot of soot on the allotment. I want to make sure I use it in the right place. Leaf mould, that's 2-year-old. Comfrey pipe solids. So we've got an arrangement all around my growing space to ensure we can keep topping the beds up. My 1400 litre wormery is set on a slope. this galvanised tank was holed, and all the juices run out there, go into that container, and we use that as an activator for the wood chips in the path for the leaves. And as you can see, we've been busy keep topping it up, and the rats are turning it for me. As you can see, there's some really nice material there to make my homemade compost. We need to feed our no-dig beds for free. So there's the nettle plant food, that's nettles steeped in water. The comfrey plant food, that's also steeped in water. The manure runoff is manure put into a sealed container, well, at the bottom anyway, and any juices that run off we collect. I'll show you that shortly. And there's my comfrey pipe for the comfrey concentrate. That doesn't smell like some of the other plant foods that we try and make ourselves. So this is my first manure runoff bin. It's the bottom half of an IBC. The top half had gone rotten. It wasn't suitable for a water container, so we cut it off, built a structure, lined it with some recycled plastic, the shrink wrap on the compost that we have delivered. And because of the pandemic, we wasn't able to connect manure, but there seemed to be a lot of fly-tipped compost, shall we say. So that's in here. Hopefully I'll be able to get that used up. And the same here on the second bin. Just needs a little bit of tidying up when we get the manure. But this is going down slowly now, because we are building new pallet collar no-dig beds. And when we see, like I said, when we say no dig, it just means we don't put a spade in it. Nothing wrong with tickling it with our fingers, and very, very easy to weed. And this is where my Bocking 14 comfrey is. We harvest that, well, I'll be able to harvest this 3 times a year now. I only harvested twice because this is a new plant, so the roots haven't gone down as far, so we've let it grow on its own without taking killing it, basically. We want it to get established before we take too much. And this is my original bed of comfrey. I'll take as many crops off that as I can. It is the sort that spreads, so we let the wildlife bees have the flowers. As soon as the flowers look like they're dying off, we cut it down, but I'll do it in stages, so there's always flowers for the bees to come to attract them to my growing space. Because without the wildlife and the bees, no pollination, no food. And of course, growing spaces are no good if you can't get good quality rainwater collected. And I collect about 20,000 litres on my 2 allotments I share with my wife, Mrs. K. Not everyone likes no dig, and they do the traditional dig over and add their manure, bury it, but I'd rather put the manure on the top and let the worms do the work. The less work we have to do, the better in this day and age. If you've liked the content of this video, why not consider subscribing? Hit the like or dislike button for the interaction, and leave me a comment on your no dig, or how you like doing your growing spaces. As they say, there's no rules to no dig other than not digging occasionally. Sometimes you have to. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.